And welcome back, everybody, to week 2 of the BIPL Season 3. And we are moving up to the big leagues. We're up in Div 1 with our first Division 1 match of the evening. I'm once again joined by Tween on the analyst desk, ready for some Div 1 action. Now, I imagine a few of these players might be known to you. I'm maybe thinking Josh, Acrose, Nyaruko, all frequenting Division 1 in Cup of the Day. I don't know if you're a Cup of the Day Andy or not. But yeah, any players here that you want to highlight particularly?
I'm more of a Cup of the Day viewer rather than a player,
Okay.
but yeah, obviously I've seen these guys and they're very talented. And yeah, the only person I haven't seen yet is Matt, and as I see, he is the last seed, so it's going to be a bit of a uphill battle for him maybe, but let's see if he can pull out something out of the bag. And yeah, I'm extremely pumped because like things are heating up, and yeah, it's Div 1 obviously, so yeah.
Doc, your thoughts?
I think it's going to be separated into two battles again. So I think Josh and Acrose are going to be the ones who are going to be fighting for the top positions. Acrose, believe, finishing sort of 4th or 5th in the last 2 or 3 seasons. I've said a lot of numbers there without really committing to anything. But Josh's rise in sort of mixed competitive play has been meteoric. Like obviously everyone knows him to be like an incredible full speed player, but just after throughout the last year or so, he's improved so much. So I think he's going to be the main competitor to Acrose here. I think Nyaruko and MatP is going to be the battle at the bottom, but I would love to see Nyaruko full risk and get some match record points, because that's what everyone knows him for. People know him for doing cuts on Cup of the Day maps and for ridiculous risking. So I think that's going to be the interesting thing for me, is if someone else can pick up some match record points. As I believe we will be starting soon. I think we're just going to go into a warm-up. Sorry, I haven't set it up yet.
Okay, so Tween will say goodbye to you once again, but we will be ready and waiting for your analysis once this match is over. But yeah, Doc, you've teed it up quite nicely there. I mean, Josh had an absolutely phenomenal week last week, top in seeding by a country mile, and then was able to take down Wizzy in his opening match. We spoke to him afterwards, and he said he still, didn't feel like stupidly confident. Like he said that beating Wizzy was obviously a boost, but he said, job's not done yet. Still got to focus up, still got to play my best for the next weeks. But you said, his rise has been absolutely meteoric. And his next kind of challenger, really, Acrose, who has been top 4 in the UK for as long as I can remember, at least the past 2 years. But if Josh can surpass Acrose, depending on what kind of Acrose we're getting, sometimes he's a little bit slower and inconsistent, but on his day, he is for me to take down Boz and Epos on a day where he's performing at his best. So I think that this battle here that we're going to see for first and second is going to be pretty iconic. Nyaruko, as you said, a player that does like to take risks, so we might see a few fastest laps from him, although Josh got, I believe, all 3 last week over Wizzy, which was absolutely insane. And the player we haven't spoken much about, MatP, currently second from bottom in the standings, seeded 16th, so our expectations aren't high for him, but maybe he'll surprise us and beat Nyaruko here.
Yeah, we go into the first round, but I don't think you can write off MatP. Obviously, he's a fantastic player, sporting a good focus skin because he is a good focus player. Obviously, he's a very good player. It's just that he's up against some very good people as well. Yeah, I mean, as you said about Acrose, there's a reason why people know him as such a good player, because he is one. But yeah, he came second in Beacon, Div 2 in Beacon, beating Evon out for that second place. So yeah, he's obviously deserved the title of being such a good player. I think Josh is going to be the one to watch throughout all of this, which, as long as he doesn't put too much pressure on himself and crumble. But yeah, so like in Beacon, he did very well into Div 2, but then seemed to struggle during round. And so we'll see whether he's worked on sort of his composure as he goes for the inside line on the grass here. I think that is going to be the deciding factor on getting the fastest lap on this map, is who can cleanly get the... Oh, Nyaruko's hit the wall. Who can cleanly get that inside grass line.
Yeah, Josh there going for the... Are we calling it the Wizzy line? Wizzy was the first person I saw to do it. Don't know if he was the first to discover it.
I believe it was Boz who discovered it.
Ah, okay, it was Boz. Okay. Yeah, that inside line, risky, for sure. I think last week Nua told me it was worth about 0.2 if you get it perfect.
Yes.
But obviously it is a bit more difficult to execute, but Josh there doing it with no problems. Nyaruko was having a good round right up until the end there, where that clip put him into last place, was nip and tuck with Josh throughout the first part of the track, and it was actually Acrose that was all the way at the back. Does manage to recover to second place, but Josh finishing first in the previous round. Acrose having a much better time of it here in first by about 0.2.
Yeah, and MatP does find himself further at the back. I think he had a bit of trouble on the first jump drift, whereas the top three here are all sort of grouped together within 0.2 of each other. Nyaruko is chasing down Josh. And is Acrose going to go for the inside grass line? Nobody does.
Ooh,
I thought Josh was going to. I don't think he could make his mind up there. And he's going to forfeit that second position to Nyaruko, who will be glad to take it off his hands after getting the last place in the previous round. And MatP here seems to be struggling, losing all of the gears. I think he's going to go for the safe finish. Nope, goes risky, does still make it. Okay.
Yep, Matt not having the best of times, but Acrose with a much more representative time for his pace there, with a 1:02.9. That is the current fastest lap, beat out Josh's time from the previous round. And obviously, it gets locked in after these first 4 rounds, or after the first rotation of each map, as Nyaruko straight into the wall at the start of this round. So that is going to be him
for the
out of
reactor
contention
cut.
here.
It's unfortunate, but Josh finds himself out in the lead yet again. Can he hold it all the way through this time? No, he hits the wall. That's unfortunate. I'll look at someone else for a bit so we can get his confidence back. So Acrose takes over.
Made a mistake. Nyaruko full dead. Surely Acrose going to take this one. MatP, I mean, does need a good round. Has dropped currently 17 points in the first 2. I think that was a small clip on the outside there. Acrose extending his lead even further. Might opt to go safe here, but does currently have the fastest lap, so doesn't need to try and push for that and take it away from Josh, who had it in the first round. Should get into the finish no problem, and does so. It's a 1:03.5, so yeah, Acrose driving a much slower time that time around. And ultimately, Josh there, the first mistake that we've seen him make, puts him third in this round.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned the safe finish there. I'd be very surprised if we see anyone go for the safe finish on this one. It's quite a punishing one. You have to sort of go all the way around the corner to get to it. So you're sort of, unless you've got like a 3-second advantage over anyone, you're kind of forced into going for it. You can safe it a little bit by taking the jump a bit higher. But yeah, it's a one that you're sort of forced to do. As we see a lot of people eating the grass on the inside there. MatP finds himself around about 0.2 down from the pack after doing a bit of a lawnmower. And we see Nyaruko and Josh fighting it out at the top. Nyaruko, I believe, the only keyboard player in this? Or maybe MatP is as well.
I don't know what MatP uses.
He's keyboard as well.
There we go.
Okay.
So
Confirmation.
controller supremacy.
Yeah. Acrose sets himself up for the inside line. Josh gets it, but Acrose clips the outside. But Nyaruko's going to get set up for the inside line a bit better. He's going to carry more
He's got
speed,
more
and he could get a
speed.
win here.
Is it fastest lap as well?
Oh.
No, it's not. 103.1,
No.
2/10 off.
So I think
Get
Acrose is going
snipped, says Nyaruko.
to... Acrose holds on to that fastest lap point with a 102.9. Not a bad round time. I believe WR is around about a 0.6. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, I don't have world records handy, but
Not
I'll
the
take your word
foggiest.
for it. But yeah.
Nyaruko is getting bad freezes on his computer. Oh lord. I don't think we can reset for that.
No.
Any excuse from Nyaruko. But yeah. Oh, sorry.
Acrose saying
possibly
5-minute
restarting.
pause, so we might be might take a pause. I don't know. Depends on admin. Are you the admin for this?
I am the admin for this.
Right. What are we doing?
Oh god, this wasn't in the rulebook.
Okay, Nyaruko says keep
Okay.
going. Fine. So
All
we're
right,
not going to
okay,
be taking
fair.
a break here. But yeah, going into this, currently Acrose has only dropped 11 points. He is on 89. Josh 7 points behind on 82. Then we have Nyaruko on 76, but MatP, the biggest loser from that first map, 69 points. The nice number returns. But yeah, already losing almost a third of his points is not looking great for MatP. But if Nyaruko's PC continues to grief him, then he might have some better fortunes going forwards.
Yeah, I mean he's consistently sort of been up in the mix up until around about the 3/4 mark on Drowsy, and then just appeared to have a couple of issues. Maybe that was where he was freezing, but he's definitely got the pace. It'll be interesting to see whether he can convert some of these into first and second places and start to challenge Josh and Acrose. As
Josh
we
with a
see
clip.
Josh clip the inside, and he clips the inside of it again, and he finds himself all the way at the back. Lots of clipping going on, and it's between Nyaruko and Acrose at the top now. Acrose gets a nice inside line going into the grass. They are neck and neck. Only 8 thousandths between them. And MatP bringing up the rear, looking to capitalise on any mistakes. Nyaruko goes for the outside dirt line. I think he touches the wall, and MatP is going to take second. Acrose takes the win comfortably with a 56.8.
Yeah, Josh is not looking nearly as untouchable as he was last week. But potentially, I don't know, it might just be a warming up, because like last week he played the entirety of seeding first, and obviously just destroyed everyone on that. So had a nice confidence boost and a nice warm up, and then went into match 1 against Wizzy. And even in that match, to be fair, it took a little while to warm up. It was only really in the second half that Wizzy started to look properly second best. There's a big no slide there, though.
No slide, and so does
Nyaruko has made a mistake, though, so Josh might be able to salvage third from this. But yeah, Acrose right now reigning supreme. Josh not in the form that we saw from him last week. A bit of a dip here. We'll see if he can recover from it.
Yeah, it's interesting for Josh because, I mean, you can see on, well, you possibly can't see it on the stream, but in local records, I believe he was on this server on the previous game, and he was setting 56.7, which is a very nice time. Faster than what Acrose's previous round was, 56.9, I believe. So he's definitely got the pace, and it seems like he's possibly just slowly getting into the match. It'd be interesting to see whether he set that time on the second rotation, first rotation. Maybe he sort of grows into the match as it goes on. With Nyaruko picking up a -10, must have made another mistake after that first no slide. As Acrose sets the fastest lap time then.
56.5.
56.5. That is rapid.
That's rapid.
That is very fast.
Yeah. Wow,
Didn't even notice that.
I don't know what world record is. I wish I did, because That's got to be close. Is it a 0.4, I think? By Boz? Yeah. That is blistering from Acrose. Josh is really going to have his work cut out in this match. He's had kind of 1.5 shaky maps so far as Nyaruko with a clip, but yeah. Josh not looking good so far. Acrose is having one of his good days. Big release there. A little bit wobbly going through, but does make it through and still just about ahead of Josh, who was having probably his best round so far on Creel. See if he can convert it into a win. Acrose going for a slightly different line on the drift and gaining a little bit for it as well. Or Acrose actually opting to go for the inside. Josh is going to come back with more speed, but we saw this in the previous match. Doesn't really gain you anything. Josh closing in, but can't close in enough. And a 56.7 from Acrose, just putting in those times and making it look easy.
Yeah, it seems like the outside line gets you more speed, but you just don't have the... You just run out of room before you can actually capitalize on it. So, yeah, Acrose opting for the inside line, working out for him with a very nice time again, I believe. But yeah, Nyaruko with a couple of mistakes drops him down to 49 points in last place. Josh with a very wonky start here, but manages to recover it. Goes wide on the sausage, drops down in 4th place. But yeah, it seems like Nyaruko is struggling on this one, and it's allowed MatP to pick up a couple of 2nd and 3rd places, which has allowed him to sneak ahead of him on the leaderboard. With Josh bringing up the rear this time, MatP in 2nd, Nyaruko in 3rd, Acrose in the lead yet again. Nyaruko with another no slide, straight into the wall. And that is unfortunate for him. He's going to pick up another -10, notwithstanding any major mistakes from anyone else.
Yeah, Acrose looking pretty untouchable right now. 89 points. He's only dropped 11 so far. And this, if he manages to make the finish without any dramas, which he does, means that after 2 maps, Acrose a total of only 11 points lost, which I believe equates to a 2nd and a 3rd, all other rounds finishing 1st. Yeah, dominant so far from Acrose, and it almost seems like Josh at this point is already out of contention, down on 54 points. He's even within kind of the realm of potentially losing to MatP if Matt is able to continue his run of consistency. Does seem like we're going to have a little bit of a pause here. Nyaruko restarting. Fresh start for Nyaruko. Will we see a fresh starting game as well? Currently on 39 points, needs to close the gap to MatP, who is 11 points in front, and Josh, who is 15 points in front of him. I feel like the match winner right now is strongly looking like it's going to be Acrose.
It's going to take a lot from Josh to
to really get it back. I mean, even with a push from Josh now, Acrose, like, he's driving phenomenally. Like, I don't think that there's going to be it would have to be Josh, like, really pushing and being incredibly fast and consistent, and Acrose dropping off as well at this point for Josh to really have a chance now to win the match. 2nd definitely still on the cards, and at this point might kind of consign himself to just trying to go for the fastest laps, and 2nd place will do.
Yeah, might just go for that extra point on this final map. But yeah, it's looking like his main competitor now is MatP in terms of points. Finds himself 4 points ahead of him. And you've got to say, in terms of pace, I think Josh does look better. So yeah, we will see how that plays out. If I can spend end round right, I can. Oh wait, actually, I should probably let people drive a little bit.
Can delete wood?
I can't delete wood.
I hope so.
Yeah, so relatively controversial addition of wood in this.
Cutter.
Yeah, in this map, but I kind of like it. It's not too. There's not too much of it. It's just the 1 or 2 corners.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how Josh performs, because obviously he's had 2 maps now where he's underperformed, underdelivered, and I worry that that could just knock his confidence a little bit. Like, I feel like Josh is a player that is often kind of catalyzed by his mental and how he's feeling going into a match. And if he's not confident now, he can probably see the win versus Acrose slipping away. It might start to kind of really affect his performance, and might allow possibly not Nyaruko, who has definitely looked the most accident prone out of the four, but definitely gives MatP a chance, because Matt, we were expecting to be a solid fourth, has really impressed so far.
Yeah, he has. It's a little bit of, he's sort of grown into the game as it's gone. He had a bit of trouble on Drowsy. But yeah, I think he's been sort of allowed back into the game as well, picking up a lot of second and third places where you could argue that he didn't necessarily have the pace for those positions. Whereas Nyaruko, you could say, does have the pace, but doesn't have anywhere near the consistency to actually get those results in. So yeah, I think Nyaruko will be disappointed that he's allowed it to sort of slip away a bit. Once his PC is turned back on, he will be looking to string together a few good results on what I think is his preferred map. It seems like it would suit him. He likes the sort of strange maps that other people don't usually like. So yeah. Oh, and he is back in the game. He is back in the game. I think. I believe.
We should be getting underway shortly then.
I will just double check that they're all ready.
Yep. Okay. Yep. All players are ready.
Acrose and Josh haven't said they're ready.
I'm just assuming.
Josh,
ready.
Sorry. Okay.
Okie dokie then.
I think we're actually going to go now. If I can manage to spell end round properly, we'll be going. Yes. All right. We're there. Okay, we are on the first round of Gone. Definitely the first round. And they haven't driven 12 of them already. Yes.
Yep, first time we are seeing Gone in Div 1. And we'll see who is going to be coming out on top here. I mean, you say that this map might actually favor Nyaruko because, it's not your standard comp map. It does have its kind of little quirks and gimmicks.
Straight away.
Oh,
yes.
Never mind. No, I'll stop my point there, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Nyaruko's firmly made your point for you there, that he lost the gear in the dirt and then drove into the wall. But yeah, it's never easy to come back from a pause in the game. We'll see whether it affects the players near the top of the leaderboard as well, because it's just not nice all round. You get in your zone and then all of a sudden you've got to pause with someone whose computer dies. But yeah, I mean, there's very little you can do about it. You've just got to try and keep your head in the game. As we see Josh hits the wall on the dirt outside, and Acrose is going to take home another victory here. And what time are we looking at? It is a 1:08. Josh doesn't make the fin.
Josh last.
Oh,
From
Nyaruko
second to last, and
saved.
I didn't think he had the speed. It was quite a hefty hit on the wall, and try as he might to get the speed back, clips the finish, and then has no choice but to just try and trundle through. And unfortunately for him, Matt and Nyaruko were not that far behind. Acrose setting the early pace there of a 1:08.50.
That is
that is a big minus 10 there for Josh. Actually puts him behind MatP now for the first time in the match.
Well.
Yeah, last place. Acrose is got more than twice or almost more than twice the points of any of the other three. So I think he is high and dry right now, cruising to victory. But yeah, this battle for second is going to be a very interesting one.
Acrose hits the top of that dirt lump thingy, whatever it is, I don't know what we're calling that, in that transition, and drops down into third. And MatP is going to take a victory here. Well, could take a victory here. Nyaruko across the wood gains a little bit. Acrose with a very inside line, trying to catch right up to them. Is going to come down to this dirt downhill before the end. Oh, Acrose very close to touching the wall, gets more speed out than
He's gonna get
Nyaruko,
Nyaruko.
possibly more
Is
than
he gonna
MatP
get MatP as well?
Oh.
Not quite, but great round from those three. MatP 101.4. That is significantly slower than Acrose drove in the previous round, so we can definitely tell that who has the ultimate fastest pace here, and that is Acrose. But yeah, MatP having some really strong rounds here in second place, and he's got Josh behind him 12 points adrift. So Matt could actually surprise us all here and get a really good second place.
Yeah, that would be great for him to be 15th in the table and picking up a second place against Josh, who a lot of people have been touting as being possibly one of the favourites to win it,
Yeah.
or challenge Boz at least. As we see, Acrose has a very wonky start going across that grass, and we find Josh up the front with MatP not far behind, Nyaruko trailing by around about 0.2 from that the front two pack. Oh, gets very close to hitting the wall. MatP does not risk the dirt very much. Nyaruko could come back here, but it's a bit of a trend that we've seen with Nyaruko, is that he just gets into good positions, then can't convert them into points, and he drops down into fourth after clipping on the wood. Forgets the sensitivity is set to 1,000. Josh is gonna, only just makes the risky. MatP picking up a second place. Acrose picking up a -7 and Nyaruko down to 15.
Yeah, and Josh with his only clean round so far, 101.3. That was 1.2 faster than what he'd driven before, and the record is still that 1 minute 0.8 by Acrose. As we go on to our final round here, someone's clicked at the start. That is Nyaruko, so he is going to be out of this round. That is hugely disappointing for him, currently on 15 points and probably dropping all the way down to single digits after this one. Acrose still holding on to 78 of his points, and the fight really is between Josh and MatP for that second place.
Yeah, it is, and it looks like Josh is going to be the one to sort of take the advantage on this round so far. Finds himself around about 0.15 up. It touches the outside of the dirt though. Acrose and MatP are going to go past him. Acrose goes very wide across there, doesn't clip, which is lucky. MatP hits the barriers. Oh, it's a very strange chicane section. Just doesn't drift quite enough and hits the barrier. Josh is going to take second place here with no finish shenanigans, please. Acrose with a 101 flat. Not a bad time again. Like, good enough to win. I mean, good enough to win in most games. That 101, 108 was unbelievable. Very fast. And we see Nyaruko is within one round of entering last chance, with a fairly hefty buffer up to second and third place, where the real battle is taking place between MatP and Josh, which I don't think anyone would have predicted.
Yeah, Acrose has been absolutely insane so far. Great pace, great consistency, and he's only lost a total of 22 points from the first 12 rounds, which is frankly just nuts. All three match records as well, I'm being told. So looking like a perfect match here for Acrose in round 2. Obviously still got round 3 to play. We'll be sticking with Acrose as well for round 3, but more on that later. Yes, we will. I can't remember who he's playing. Bozbez.
Boz.
So
maybe
if there was ever a day though for Acrose to pop off and like have his peak performance, today was the day. You know?
Yeah.
If
definitely.
he can come out of this match like playing the way he is, I'm not saying that it will be, you know, I'm not saying
it's not
that he could win.
infeasible.
It's not unfeasible. You know, Boz, I don't think Boz has ever lost in BIPL. He dropped points in BIPL for the first time last week.
Yes, he
a
did,
fastest lap point. But
Nobody
he has never come anywhere except first.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too sure what Boz's pace on this is, but if Acrose can consistently do a 102.9 or a 102.8, he's in for a chance.
Josh
as we
has
go,
just set a 102.7 in the warm-up.
It's a little
fastest
bit
lap
late
is a
for that, Josh.
102.9 by Acrose. So he's just driven 2/10 faster than Acrose's fastest lap in the warm-up. I think that's telling, though, right? That has to be telling of just Josh feeling the pressure of the match situation. Like, we know that's what he's capable of ultimately, but yeah, I feel like he's maybe just kind of overthought this. Potentially, like, his performance from last week feels like he's got a lot to live up to now. You know, beating Wizzy, he's got Acrose here, and it's just kind of fallen apart for him. He does have another match this week to make amends, as we see MatP. I've never seen someone crash like that there, but there we go. Gonna put him plumb last. And Nyaruko, actually, will probably survive. Josh into the wall. Nyaruko will not be on last chance this round.
You know what? He might take a win here.
Unless he crashes the fin. That's
oh,
not
he crashes
realm
the fin.
of possibility either.
He might not come last still. Yeah,
just it's a -7. He's got 1 point left.
Oh no. Oh. Yeah, Josh's next game is one that you could argue is quite a bit easier in terms of picking up maximum points at least. He's got Babs, Sean, and Floyd. So you'd expect him to pick up a decent amount of points from there. But, you know, where you really need to make your mark in this tournament is where you're playing against the top players. You've got to pick points up against them. And he's, you know, staring down the barrel of potentially a third place here with no match records. So we'll see whether he can... well, he's 4 points ahead of MatP. We'll see whether he can convert that second place. Nyaruko seems to now be playing well. Now that he's on 1 point, he is up in first and challenging out.
I mean, I wouldn't go too early on that because he was playing well right up until the last turn of the previous round. So, yeah, I wouldn't count your chickens just yet. But MatP has made another mistake. That is his second in a row. Great 3 Acrose and Nyaruko inseparable at the front. Josh just bringing up behind them. See how this one pans out. Oh, Josh as well gets the no side just about. Acrose slamming on the brakes.
Doesn't get it nicely. Nyaruko hits the wall. Is he going to stay ahead of MatP here? Gets the gear soup as well.
Stay ahead of Acrose though. It's tight and it's 4,000. Josh gets it. Yeah, Nyaruko says didn't need that point anyway. He's got a point. To be fair. Well, he doesn't anymore. He's just lost his only point. But there we go.
Yeah. And MatP finds himself down on 12 points. So Nyaruko could potentially be a thorn in his side. You know, just stay ahead for a couple of rounds and drag MatP down into last chance with him. As I think MatP actually clips the inside on that precision start. It's unfortunate for him. There's a long first CP. There we go. 0.4 behind. Nyaruko actually out in the front here. Doesn't go for the double outside dirt line.
Oh, touch from Josh though.
0.1 ahead. Josh has touched the wall.
And now he's really touched the wall.
Oh no. So MatP is going to be slightly saved here.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a -10 for Josh. I wouldn't say a -12. I'm sure he can make it to the finish. Did lose a lot of speed, but should have the time in hand. Nyaruko going to survive for another round. See who is able to clutch it out. Nyaruko might actually win this round here. He's not that far off Acrose. He goes full inside. Nyaruko has the speed. Does he have the speed to catch Acrose? No, I don't think so. No, he doesn't.
To the moon, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, does survive.
Yeah, Josh taking a -10 down to 12 points. MatP down to 5 points. So MatP needs a second or higher to not go into last chance on this final round on Drowsy. And you do not want to be going last chance onto Creel because it's a difficult map. And he hits the pole on the very first corner. That's unfortunate.
I mean, that puts him last chance, you know. It felt pretty inevitable. But Nyaruko's going to survive.
This does set us up perfectly for the MatP Nyaruko, both in last chance, both DNF situation.
Oh yeah.
That we had last time.
Rolling back the years.
Although
potentially it
unfortunately,
sets us up for a triple last chance as well if Josh continues to make mistakes as well. He's currently on 12 points. I mean, a round win here would put him put a bit of distance between himself, MatP, and Nyaruko. I wouldn't say it's all over yet, though, for Nyaruko, because, yeah, MatP is only a second behind, and Nyaruko has been pretty accident-prone at the finish. Does he make it cleanly? Probably knows that he should just fall safe this. Does he make the fin? Yes, he does,
Yes.
and survives another round. MatP onto last chance. Josh actually
Josh
beats
takes the
out
win.
Acrose there. Well, I was going to say takes fastest lap point. Would have done had
Would have done.
it counted on this second rotation. So we now go to the third rotation, I believe. No, we
Nope.
don't. We're on
We
the
are
second
on the second
rotation,
rotation.
second map.
We go to the second time around on the Kerberos map, Real.
Yes.
Which I've completely forgotten how everyone did the first time round on this.
Acrose won.
Every round?
Probably.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean that sounds believable. So yeah, I think we saw Nyaruko had a bit of trouble on this one, a lot of no slides, but so did Josh. Over that sausage section, we also saw a lot of people clipping through the reactor penalty, whatever the hell this thing is. The Kerberos special that seems to be in all of these maps now. Not that I'm complaining. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long Nyaruko and MatP can last. If either of them do last more than one round, we will see.
Just
but yeah,
so we know though, would it be an idea to make sure they know where the safe finish is this time? Because that was the issue last time.
Yes, it was.
They didn't know.
Luckily, on Creel there is only one finish. You can see it. You can see the safe finish from the risky. Yeah, it's the same finish basically, but you just sort of go around the hole.
Oh, you just hang a left. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully no bizarre repeats of that. As we go into the first round of survival for MatP and Nyaruko. Well, and for Josh. Josh needs to be trying to keep as many points as he can here. Needs to try and keep up needs to try and pick up a couple of wins to get some minus zeros. As he hits the wall on the downhill dirt straight away. But I think so does MatP slightly. So Josh doesn't find himself too far behind. 0.6 off of Acrose and around about 0.2 off of the back of MatP. Acrose has hit the wall through that. It's a very tough precision section coming out of there, and we could see both of the last chances coming in first and second here. If there's no further mistakes. Josh will pick up a -7 in this position, so he'd end up with 5 points. So not an ideal position for him to be in. He would want to snack one of these two before the end. But I can hear Acrose's car in my headphones. How far behind is he? Not close enough to challenge.
Wow.
Yeah, so a 1-2 from Nyaruko and MatP. Nyaruko with a PB with a 57.1. It's not a bad time.
There's still
0.6
tenths off Acrose's fastest lap, though.
It seems like Acrose has really stepped up his pace between this season and last season.
Okay, double last chance, survives for another round. Josh on 5 points, needs second or better, with the other two finishing third or better. So the stars do kind of have to align here for this triple last chance, but it's not out of the question. Josh has been making some errors, seems to have a better start to this round. MatP a little slow there on the drift, has lost the gear, but it is both of them at the back right now as we reach about the halfway mark. And I feel like at this point, one of them is going to be getting eliminated, but is it going to be Nyaruko or is it going to be MatP? Nyaruko definitely looked the weaker of the two. MatP had a strong run in the middle of the match, but staring down the barrel of elimination now, it's all going to come down to who gets the outside dirt better. MatP going for the inside, and this is where we see, is it faster? MatP is going to have a shorter run to the finish. No, he's not. Nyaruko makes it in. Third place secured for Nyaruko. MatP, after such a strong performance, we even said he might be on for second in the match, does fall at the first hurdle here, eliminated in this round, and it's Nyaruko versus Josh for second.
Yeah, I think MatP's unlucky there. Just a double threat of Josh and Nyaruko starting to string together some decent rounds, which they hadn't been in the earlier maps. So yeah, Josh finds himself on 1 point, so he will be entering last chance as well this round, whether or not he wins, as we have eliminated a player. And Nyaruko finds himself 0.2 behind. I mean, MatP and Nyaruko were finding themselves around about 0.6 behind. Oh, he's hit the wall as well, Nyaruko. Yeah, this could be it. I think on this map, it is just a pace difference between Nyaruko and MatP and Josh and Acrose anyway. Even on clean rounds for Matt and Nyaruko, they were finding themselves around about 0.6 off of the pace of these two. As Josh goes to the outside dirt again, doesn't hit the wall though, luckily, so Nyaruko is going to stay in third. It's going to come down to the risky. Nobody hits it, and Nyaruko is out. Picking up a third place though, not bad for him.
Well, very nice time. 56.5 again from Acrose. That is the second 56.5 of the match. And now, doing some quick mental maths, Josh has to win
Oh, yeah.
15
Don't worry about
rounds
it.
in a row.
He's just hit the pole on the very first corner, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Okay. Yeah. GG's.
Well, we'll see if there's any major mistakes from Acrose here. But he does find himself around about half a second ahead, and Josh has also hit the inside of the reactor and drops down to 0.7 behind. So Acrose has just got to keep it safe here. Josh also taking some wonky lines out of the reactor through that precision section, and it looks like Acrose is going to bring this home. I'm not going to say anymore just in case I cast his cursing.
Yeah, surely he doesn't miss the finish, right?
Surely, there's no way anyone could miss this this finish. It's not
no,
that risky.
I've never seen anyone miss this finish. It would be impossible. That's why he's made the finish.
Keeps it nice and clean.
Yeah,
and that is
what a match,
convincing win.
What a performance as well from Acrose.
Yeah, ending up with 58 points remaining. So, I need to stop this recording. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
I think everyone's back, and we are back with Mr. Tween here. What are your thoughts on that match? We were maybe expecting a closer fight between Acrose and Josh, and it never really materialized. What were you thinking about that as the match was going on?
Yeah, I mean, on paper, that was maybe the fight that was supposed to go down between the first and the second. But in the end, I think we saw pretty clearly that Acrose was pretty much dominating all throughout the match. And yeah, so props to him. And that was pretty much it was just a dominating performance. Really, he didn't feel like it was under pressure or anything at any point of the match. And as for the second place, I mean, that was a lot more interesting, I would say, where we've had some maybe. I mean, Nyaruko was plagued by some technical issues, obviously, but that's unfortunate. But he did manage to squeeze into the third place in the end. And yeah, unfortunately, Matt got fourth, but he had this period in the match, like in the middle point, where especially on the map Gone, where I mean, that was textbook. That was just well played. Like I could see him like not pushing too hard from third place after Nyaruko had some unfortunate happening, and yeah, he was just playing very well, and like especially on that map where you know, you still have the wood ending, and you have to stick close to the wall, and you know, like he even managed to pick up a round against the Crows there, and that was just very impressive. And at that point, he got into the second place of the match, and yeah, unfortunately, he didn't keep it. But I think Nyaruko, like in the end, maybe started having a bit of fun with the game, and that's what helped him get back into it. You know, like he wasn't all too sad about maybe losing some rounds to technical issues. And you know, I mean, there's this saying in Slovak where it's like history will not ask. It's basically what it translates to. And yeah, I mean, that's I think Matt very well like handled that situation, and he knew that history will not ask about technical issues and that he's just there to get some points, you know. And I think that's what he handled well, but unfortunately it didn't work out.
Yeah. So based on Acrose's performance in that match, how do you think? Do you think that he will? How do you think he's going to stack up against players like Boz? Do you think he stands a chance of taking points off of them, maybe even taking the victory in the whole league?
He definitely does. He definitely does have a chance, but on the other hand, I mean, match like this will not really give you too much of too much information. Basically, I mean, he was able to dominate it, but still, if the other guys put him under pressure, you know, it can be a whole different story. So it's really up to him, and he has the skills. And if he keeps it up, then there is no reason why he shouldn't be a major contender.
Yeah. That'd be good
Okay,
to see.
well, after that round, we can have a look at how the leaderboard is stacking up. So we've had 2 rounds out of 5 now in Division 1. And right now, it's actually Acrose at the top. 2 perfect back-to-back weeks so far. 15 points in each. So winning his match and getting all 3 fastest lap points. And he is in front of Bozbez, who
Whoa.
last week dropped one of those fastest lap points, I believe, to nobody.
It was to nobody. Yeah.
So yeah, he had 14 points in round 1, 15 in round 2, so perfect from him. Hendo on the same points as Boz, having exactly the same results, 14 points in round 1 and 15 points in round 2. Now, I have been told to draw our attention to one match in round 2, where Dvinho has ended up as the victor of that match, with Leo second and Wizzy finishing in third, probably the favourite coming into that match. Finishing in third place, does pick up a point for fastest lap, which I've noticed. Dvinho also picking up a fastest lap point there, and I would assume, yes, Leo also picking up a fastest lap point.
Yeah.
So
Evenly spread. Well, apart from Floyd, who unfortunately misses out on. But yeah,
Floyd
across
just
multiple players.
came last. But I mean, that seems like a pretty stacked match if you've got Dvinho in form and Leo also being Wizzy.
Yeah, it's good to see Dvinho picking up a win there. Like, I think a lot of people perhaps see Dvinho as someone who is very much just pace and not a huge amount of consistency. So it's interesting to see him picking up the win, but not all the match points. I would have expected, Dvinho to come third in that match, but pick up a couple of fastest lap points and then bonk every other round. But no, that's great to see Dvinho really stepping up there. That's probably thrown a spanner in the works in terms of Wizzy's league positions, because I believe
he's 7th right now.
Compared to last season, where I believe he was 4th overall, he's dropped down the standings a little bit.
Yeah.
Finds himself solidly mid-table. And we are going to be seeing Leo in the next round, so we'll see how he performs. But yeah, picking up a 2nd place against Wizzy for him as well is very good to see. One of our veteran members.
Yeah. Other matches, Hendo winning his match versus, with nobody in 2nd, MatP in 3rd, and Babs actually seeded 5th coming into that match, ultimately finishing in 4th place there, just not having a good week at all, and finished 4th in the previous week as well. So
He did. Yeah.
Babs is not having the best time in BIPL so far, but I'm sure he's hoping his fortunes will turn around soon. And then finally, in that last match, obviously, Bozbez winning with a maximum points haul, followed by Jaffa Padawan, then Sox and Shawnee Wolf. So Sox actually beating Shawnee Wolf there. He was seeded higher than him. But yeah, we have our 3rd match coming up, but we will go to a short break first, get that all set up for you, and then the 3 of us will return and we will intro that match for you. So once again, do not go anywhere. We'll be back in 5 minutes for more BIPL action.